Hey everyone, welcome to Doug's Guitar of the Day, episode 3. Now I realize I just put episode 2 up about midnight last night, but it's raining today, not a whole lot to do yet, so I figured I would just keep rolling with what's ever on the shelf over there. So I pulled this one out of a gig bag. This is unique and it's got a lot of features and stories behind it that going to take a while to explain. So bear with me. But this is one of those sentimental ones I talked about earlier that can't be sold because there's just too much going on in my life at the time to go ahead and get rid of it. So what this is a parts caster, I guess is what they call them. I built this thing out of kit parts Christmas Day of '99. It consists of an alder body from Carvin and a conversion neck from Warmouth Guitar Products in Puyallup. I think that's how you say it, Washington State. Now, conversion neck. Let's talk a little bit about that. Basically, what it is, it's a Strat-looking type neck that has a Gibson scale. And guitar players know what I'm talking about. Other people that happen to be watching this video out of boredom may not. So I'm going to go ahead and explain it. Basically, on a Strat, from your nut all the way up here down to your bridge is 25.5 inches. When you do the math, it makes the distances between the frets a little bit bigger than it would be on a Gibson. Now, Gibson's measurement is 24 3/4 from the nut to the bridge. That makes all the frets a little bit closer together, and if you have small hands like mine, it's a little easier to get around on. So this allows you to take the neck off your Fender Strat or Tele or whatever and bolt this thing on. They just hold together with 4 screws, and you can still get some Strat type sounds with Gibson playability. Now, a shorter scale neck will be a little bit less bright and it'll have a little bit warmer tone, which that's okay by me. I still didn't notice a whole lot of difference. So back to the guitar. I ordered the body and I had it sent to work in December of 1999 because I was bound determined I was going to put this thing together on Christmas Day. So in the middle of December, the body showed up. I think the neck might have showed up too. I really can't recall. But what I did is I finished the body, which is alder wood, in tung oil. And I did that like on my lunch hour at work. And the neck didn't have a finish on it. They recommended at least sealer, and that was an upcharge, and I didn't want to do it. So I just tung oiled the neck as well as the body because it was an easy finish, and I didn't want to screw it up with a bad paint job. So I went ahead and did that. But then I realized later on I probably should have put sealer on it. And I don't know if you can see or not, but the neck has kind of a grayish tint to it. And basically what happens is dirt gets embedded into the pores of the wood. It kind of makes it look older, because if you see older maple neck Strats or Teles, a lot of times the finish they have gets wore off anyway. But anyway, the neck is maple, but rather than have a skunk stripe on the back of rosewood like Fender usually does to put the truss rod in, this one is kind of made in a different fashion, more like a Gibson fashion, I guess, where it's got a maple neck, but it also has a maple fretboard, but instead of the fretboard being part of the neck, it's a cap, so it's a flat piece of maple glued onto the other piece of maple. So that's the construction in a nutshell. It's got Goto tuners on it. It came with black fret position markers and black side dots too. So it was basically a Strat with a Gibson neck, and I played it for about 5 years. And the good thing about this guitar is every time I wanted to try something different and weird as far as pickups and electronics, I would swap out the pick guard or change it around. This guitar has been apart at least 10 times. Finally, a couple years ago, I decided to kind of think of something myself. So I ended up getting a pick guard. Instead of having 3 single coils, I put 2 humbuckers in. Kept the 5-way switch, which has some different combinations that I don't think anybody else has. I'll explain them to you in a little bit. Master volume and master tone. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, but the volume and the tone, they're wired in 50s fashion, so they're a little bit interactive. So anyway, the pickups come from Guitar Fetish, and I think they're the Earl Slick model 50s pickups or whatever. They're made to look old. They've got some dents and dings, and they're kind of rusty looking, but they had 4-conductor wiring, which I needed that to run to this switch. The switch, instead of being a standard Strat 5-way switch, is what they call a super switch. So it has 4 different poles on it. Long story short, it's got 24 terminals on it. So there's a lot of crisscrossing around to get the sounds that I wanted. But I like the simplicity of just having 1 switch, 1 volume, and 1 tone. I'm almost thinking of just doing that to all my guitars, but I'm kind of skittish because I don't want to devalue anything, but I really like this setup. So what we have are basically, you've got your stock 3 Gibson sounds, but you got your treble pickup. And it's pretty full. It's a little bit brighter sounding because you have a bolt-on neck and different type of wood than you would on a Les Paul or a 335, but it's still a little bit meatier than your average Stratocaster. I usually roll the tone down about half. And then in the middle position, now there's 5 positions, so I guess this would be position position 3, which is both humbuckers. That's also, a standard Gibson type sound. Really clear. Still clear when you turn the volume down from 10 to about 7. Then your front pickup. Nice and mellow. But anyway, what's different about this is the in-between positions are different. Now, each position is in series rather than parallel. I know that doesn't mean squat to a lot of people, but basically each position, the volume matches actually real well. I've tried coil taps or whatever to get a Strat type sound, and the volume drop always, I'd have to hit a boost pedal or whatever, and it was just too much to do. So the volume matches, it's just the tone that changes on this. So this position here, kind of the in-between position, kind of gives me a kind of a Strat quack sound. And I use that a lot. And then the next position is more of a telly type tone. Pretty bright. It's kind of almost kind of like a Telecaster in the middle position, to me, anyway. So from position 1 to position 5, here's 1 front pickup. Here's position 2, both one coil from each pickup in series. Position 3, both humbuckers. Position 4, kind of a fake Strat sound with a little bit more volume. And finally, the bridge humbucker, position 5. So, try to play some stuff here for you if I can get my computer to come up. Sorry for the delay here. I'm trying to think what else in the meantime that I can talk about this guitar. Oh yeah, the wood burning. Almost forgot about that. Well, after about 5 years, and I don't really know why. I don't know if my son Corey, he was about 16 at the time, but we'd got him a wood burner for some reason. And I just took this thing apart and let him go to town on it. And it's kind of a guitar graveyard motif. And this is the first time wood burning. Kind of scared me to death, because he was on the phone the whole time talking to his girlfriend while he was doing this. But you'll see a guitar right there and a bunch of mountains and stuff like that. He put my name, put Kaufman on the headstock. He had a little trouble on the headstock. I mean, the alder wood on the body burnt okay, but the maple was a little bit harder. But he got it done. It says Kaufman in 04. So I built it in, late 99. In 04, he did the wood burning. And then it has another guitar graveyard motif on the back of it. One thing I didn't mention earlier, this is a string through guitar, so the strings go in through the back like a Telecaster through these little ferrules, so you don't have to worry about having a Strat tremolo going out of tune or whatever. So I'm already at 12 minutes, so I'm gonna, and this song is probably more a little bit country tinged, but I'm gonna try to throw some distortion on there too and kind of give it a country rock feel. So see how we do.